Aptora is here to make your business better today. Our all-in-one software and employees help pave the way. From work orders to payroll, got you covered all the way. So just pick up a phone and give us a call today.
Hello, this is Jonathan Fayard with Aptora. I'm one of the account managers here, and I'm going to cover Total Office Manager's Workflow Navigator. We created the Workflow Navigator to make it easy to get around in the software. New users love it because you do not have to deal with complicated ways to get around in the software since it's all laid out for you right in front of your eyes. This also makes it easy to train new users on using the software by decreasing the learning curve. And we created the Workflow Navigator by user feedback on ideas that would help users in the office. User feedback is very important to us. So what you would do is click on the top tab for the work you're dealing with. So right now I'm at the banking tab. But say we're on the phone with a customer. I would go to my customer tab here. Now we can see the typical workflow you would experience with a customer, such as adding a customer into the system, creating a work order, using the schedule board to determine who is free at a time and date, entering a sale, and so on. And there's also helpful shortcuts in the Workflow Navigator and helpful reports right in front of you. The customer job list right here, you would use that to look up a customer. You also have here an equipment list so that you can easily search for customer equipment. It'll search your equipment through the entire database that you have. You also have here the invoice list, which you can search for the customer invoice history and so on. You can also see that we have useful reports over here as well. These are the most common reports that you would use with the customer. So here's another one. We'll go into the vendor. So let's say we're dealing with a vendor. Well, now you can see the typical flow you would experience with a vendor. Here you can see such as entering the typical flow like the purchase order, receiving the item into inventory, entering the bill, and paying the bill. And there's also, of course, the helpful reports and lists that you're commonly going to use. Now, of course, Total Office Manager has a lot more reports than this. There are actually more than 400 reports built into the software, but again, these are the most common reports that someone is going to use, so it's very helpful to have these easily accessed where you can just click and go right into it. Also, by the way, we can create custom reports for our users per request. Now, if you ever need to get the Workflow Navigator out of your field of view, you can always shrink it by clicking the minimize button right here. And when you minimize it, it's going to become a tab. And you can move the tabs around, and this is for every other window in our software. You can minimize them into a tab. You can move the tab to wherever you like, and then if you ever need to open it back up, you just go over here and you click the restore up button, and now it's back where you had it originally. If I prefer to have the Workflow Navigator over here, that's fine. It's going to remember that this is the location that you want it to be at. Now we shrink it, and it goes over here to where it remembers where you wanted the tab to be located at. And if you, for whatever reason, want to close it and you hit the red X and you need to bring it back up at any time, you just go to the View tab up here and you go to the Workflow Navigator. And now it's back. So I hope this was helpful for many of my users and those who are considering Total Office Manager to optimize their business. If you have any questions on the Workflow Navigator, always feel free to reach out to us at any time.